All right. Hey, welcome. Welcome to our weekly podcast. This is the Funding CEO, Marvin Wilson, aka Meta Marvin. This is something that guys, that I've sort of approached, just fundamentally talking to my downline and talking to clients, and it was just basically a conference call. And I guess anything, this whole COVID thing, it got people to really, I guess, start expressing themselves in different ways, and I got creative. And I'd always wanted to, talk to wonderful people, um, hearing the pros and cons, and see how we can turn the lemons to lemonade in life, business, whatever we put our minds to, right? So, with this here, I sort of built this coming from everybody for me knows, for the most part, I started out, had a celebrity travel agency, and then my mentor came along. He was a man of color. He was a part owner of a couple professional teams, taught me a lot, uh, but the threshold was corporate ticketing. And it was a form of currency that's totally went over our culture's head, because you can't get into a facility, a venue, anything with 4 or 5 thousand people without a conversion from a ticket to money. You understand? So you got to understand there's a lot of things we got to start approaching from a different perspective, not so much as a consumer, but ownership. And so I was blessed to really have that type of information in front of me, and the type of people that had that temperament of understanding how business works, and they really showed me how to be creative, with an idea and step out on faith. So with this here, funding hyphen credit, we talk to, of course, people that trying to get into homes. We have a very strong cybersecurity credit repair team, which we deal with data. So we see a lot of errors out there when they're dealing with all of us, millions and millions of people, and knowing the law. Sometimes that works definitely for you if you know the law, and a lot of us don't. So we come in and get that, get that cleaned up for you, which a lot of people call it credit repair, credit restoration, all this stuff. But it's really consulting, and showing people how they can go out and get their life either credible, or take away a lot of negating things that have happened, right? And then with that, building credit, leveraging credit, showing them different instrument steps, would be personally or business, of how we can build ourselves and leverage ourselves in business as business owners. And we don't teach debt, we teach leverage. Okay. So with that being said, not to get top heavy, there's a lot of different other things that go with that, guys. Believe me, this wasn't an easy ride. Okay. I wanted to make you think I had all this stuff together. This comes from, getting doors slammed in my face, getting laughed at. Man, you were doing ticketing. Now I had to really, stand on my two, on my 10, on flat footed, and really take those hits and understand that I had a vision, I had a purpose. So I had to solve problems. That's the biggest thing. You don't get to the big fish until you start solving problems, big ones. And I came from that. Seeing millions and millions of dollars coming through my face from all over the place, with people that would just pay for a $500,000 budget, on plastic, or through a business, or through assets. Our culture, they would go put up their houses, come with cash, lose it. It wasn't insured. They had all different type of instruments, and I say they, other cultures, other people, that had more of an expansion of what this stuff looks like. So with funding credit, it's a one-stop shop. Of course, we have the three levels: credit restoration, trade lines, enhancement programs, business credit programs. Okay. And then at the back end is, I threw myself and just going all over the country, getting into underwriting conventions, sticking my head out there, taking my last 3 or 4 grand just to get information. A lot of it ran into some bad apples, ran into some, probably the most brilliant people that you would ever never see, because you never see underwriters, you never see people that are really making decisions, right? You see people just putting stuff in the software and telling you you're approved or not. Well, I wanted to do away with that. When I first got in this business, guys, the biggest common error, and well, the biggest gray area that I saw, that even people that had 700 credit scores or they were seasoned business, startup businesses, they were so uncomfortable, or they were more of, how can I say it? Uh, they just didn't feel comfortable going into the banks and just laying it all out. One, they didn't know what to lay out. Two, they didn't even know what credit was. Okay. So I'd actually really just almost walk with them into the bank and let them know this is what it is, and pretty much give them preventative maintenance on, don't think you're going to get $50,000 when you have a 650 credit score in a startup business. Okay. You're not going to get any revenue funding. You're not going to get, so, you don't have any P&Ls. You don't have documentation. And I'd always flip the script and show them, okay, if you were the bank, would you give someone money that can show them credible revolving accounts, business accounts? I mean, so they, oh yeah, I understand that. But they had to have someone to be brutally honest with them. And I take pride in that because I love people. So Funding Credit is a one-stop shop. We're doing a lot of different things. I have Wisdom Foundation that definitely teaches a lot of mentoring. Definitely talking to a lot of brothers coming from either re-entry programs, trying to get back in society. Some of the most brilliant people I've ever met in my life. We also have our affected community with definitely with our millennials and our young, want to say business owners, and show them how they can convey themselves on the things that they love to do. So that's just Funding Credit. It's so much more than just the financial thing. It's just showing how we can look on paper and be credible, right? So with that being said, we took a step. I took a step out on faith, and I started working and getting interjected into the malls here in the Carolinas. And again, I just had to throw that out there, guys, because that was our last little project. And, hey, Marvin, man, we go in the malls. Ain't nobody thinking about the financial stuff, man. I don't even talk to people. Somebody come to me talking about insurance and funding. I beg to differ. You give people gut punches, guys. You ask them where they're going to be living in the next 2 years. Are you going to be renting for the rest of your life? How's your kids going to get through this threshold in the next 3 to 4 years? Are they even employees? You have a company, but are you employing we need to get effective in the things that we are purposeful about, guys. It can't be about us. It's about serving. Okay. So with that being said, I'm doing my work. You have your work to do. Come to Funding Credit, talk to us. I have a great team, sit you down without even talking about money and those type of things, and really give you a good consultation and let you see how you look on paper and how we can change that for the good. So with this, guys, I have a wonderful show coming up. This is probably so much favor, and I'm really excited because it got some information about the guest, and it's just like, it's mind blowing, but it's good, it's a, I would just say it's just so much connected, right energy at the right time. You meet right people, places, and things, and you don't ask how and why, but they happen. So no further ado, I always want to give my spiel. Of course, this is funding-credit.com. You can hit us up at info@funding-credit.com. And we're moving around, and we're actually going to be opening up a few locations down in Texas border, showing our Latino brothers and sisters a little bit about what we're talking about as well. So we're moving and we're growing, and give God all the glory for that. And really appreciate you guys coming on today. But again, today, guys, we know about Hollywood, right? Us on the East Coast, we're like, oh, hey, but I have not only a LA native, I have a best-selling supporting actress, and she's coming on board. Of course, y'all seen the flyers. I've had them everywhere, all over the place. And then at the top of that, I have her wonderful husband coming on, and this is Mr. and Mrs. Rhonda Morman Fields, and his name is Maxim. So please bring them on. No further ado. How you guys doing?
I'm well. Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, my pleasure. Okay. And I just want to jump on your side, Rhonda. Of course, being an LA native, I definitely see you had a little bit of adversity and you had to go through some things as a child, which a lot of us probably definitely had to. But
Yes.
yours is really interesting. Could you just expound on, how that rolled into you, seeing yourself as as an actress and a role model and the things that you're doing currently?
Well, I mean, I'm honored that you call me a role model.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, but well, for me at 7 years old, I was in a gunshot drive-by shooting, and outside, I wasn't the target, but I did was the victim,
Hmm.
and was placed in a wheelchair from 7 to 11 years old.
Hmm.
I was told that I would never walk again, and of course, by the grace of God, I'm walking. Been walking, still a mystery to doctors who are wondering how and why I'm walking, because like you was mentioning earlier, the paper is lying to them
Right, right.
because naturally seeing doctors. Hey, and don't get me wrong, thank God for doctors and all nurses. Shout out to every single one of you.
Right.
Thank God for you. But the glory of God stepped in and a miracle happened, and I started walking at 11, and I'm still walking today.
All right. Wow, man, that's a story that's awesome. But the thing about it is just, things happen to us, but I always tell people, man, as long as you don't change your mind, you can get anything you want. It's
Yeah,
simple. I mean, I know that sounds big, but it's really simple. And
it's
that's
bigger
why I
than that.
call
Yeah.
exactly. And so reading that's why I gave, and whether you claimed it or not, I put the role model on there because and you understand this, Rhonda and Maxim, things like that at a younger age that could have went into more of of course, traumatic. I've seen a lot of people in my family go to, of course, drugs, alcohol, anything that's going to take their mind of saying, hey, to try to handle that. And,
Yeah.
you're coming this, from that type of experience and turning this thing into something that was really about your purpose and just making it work. So I'd say that is a role model.
Well, I appreciate that. I really do. How does that play into Hollywood? Well, you have to have thick skin.
Right, right,
You have
right.
to have thick skin, and every step has brought me up to even us sitting here together, which I'm very honored that
Yes, yes,
my husband is in an interview with me. Woo woo.
yeah.
So,
That's amazing. That's amazing.
and of course his support and his guidance and how he has carried me through this. This industry is very finicky, and
Hmm.
either you want to be produced in it or you produce out of it, and that's what we've decided to do. Even how where we've even what's led us up to right now, how we're becoming producers of our own faith and our own purpose,
Right,
and we want to be able to also do that for those others that as you even said, are voiceless.
right.
That was a tough time for me as far as going through that time, and I still have moments where I'm still in awe of what God is doing even now. So,
Hmm.
so that's why I'm just quite honored to even be labeled as a role model. But that is, in fact, what I want. I don't want to necessarily be the role model. I just want to be able to help someone change the dynamic of their life,
Right.
whether it's
Hmm.
whether they were in a wheelchair, whether they, have skin that are different, whether they're overweight, whatever it is.
Right.
I just want to be able to be effective and impact in someone else's life, and not as the character, but as Rhonda. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. When I hear stories like that, it's just like, but what I, the way I look at things is like, okay, I feel like to me personally, guys, is like, the God, the universe, whatever, our higher power, are bringing the right people together on so many different levels, guys. Because like she said, if you're going to be tenacious and stay in anything these days, you got to have that thick skin, and you got to, you just got to stay focused. But with the Sunday morning,
Yeah.
and I know that's what sort of, you know sort of open things up for you, of course. How did that come about, and how did that show up? The Sunday morning movie.
I always smile and get excited when I talk about Sunday morning. I do. I had left the industry for quite a bit. I think it was about 3 years, about 3 or 4 years. And when I got back into it, I went and did a play. Had the opportunity to do a play with Paul Hanna called The Redemption of the Dog. Mm-hmm. And through that play, I met this extremely tenacious, self-driven young lady named Kanique Sky. And she was also in that same play. Kanique Sky also was on The Voice. So I want to shout that out because she even made it to top 10. I mean,
No, talent.
What's The Voice? Was it The Voice? Was it The Voice?
I forget. But she was
so now I'm confused what she was on. She was using her voice.
She's just okay.
American Idol.
Right. She was using one of them.
All right, sis. My bad.
She was on American Idol. Even I got excited because I was watching. Yeah. Anyway. She was on American Idol, so shout that out. But she's an amazing, amazing actress and writer. And I always called her my Ava. I always called her my Shonda. And she saw me in that play. That play was so top heavy. It was very hard. It was dramatic, Redemption of a Dog. I cried. And one of the things that she said is that, I had mentioned to her, man, I cannot wait to do comedy or wait to do something lighter, because we want to be able to flex our guns in this industry. Yeah. And show that leverage. And she gave me this amazing script. I was like, I'm gonna just read it right quick. I was actually on my way out. I ended up reading that whole script and was like, what? You want me to do this? You want me to do this? What? Right. Just, she handpicked every single person. It has went on to travel and just win. I mean, at 7 awards, it's 6 or 7. She's at 7 some awards. Crazy. Wow. And just self-produced, just the tenacity on that chick is contagious. And I love that every single time that she want to put me on. So shout out to Kanique Sky, Dazzle Me Entertainment, because it did open and has continued to open doors. And don't sleep on it. I know she got some other things under her sleeve. She always does.
Okay.
So, but Sunday did open that door, and I'm so grateful for the NAACP for even the nomination.
Okay. Wow. Well, I mean, and from what so she's been actually in the entertainment business for, it seems like, for a while. Is that?
Oh, yes. Yeah. She's not brand new to this. Not at all. Not even a little bit. In fact, she is a acting coach. I don't even know if I can say that, but I think she's on acting coach on a she's on social media with it. She's an acting coach on Mixes. She's amazing. Right. She's amazing. This is what she does. She loves it, the ins and out, and so do I.
Okay. Well, this is the thing. I think for me, I get my juices flowing when I saw the synergy of, the things, of course, of what I'm doing, and when I bring, of course, great guests on like yourselves and your husband. And now having conversations about, the goals and the things you guys are transitioning into now, as not only being, of course, well, I got to give a big shout out to Maxim, her husband that's sitting there. He's a writer. He's teaching financial literacy, and he can let him expound on a lot of other things that he has going on. It's really mind blowing. But again, I was like, wow, okay, because anybody from I would say people of color, I think we're opening up to understand the definition of really what ownership means, and and nobody's going to pay you what you're worth, and you have to understand the idea is really what's going to bring the money. You can have skill sets, but who came up with the idea? And when I hear what you guys are putting together and what you're going towards, it's mind blowing. So Maxim, could you expound on your writing experience, on where you guys are gauging this next platform, with the funding and all the stuff that you guys have?
So I want to thank you, Mark. I want to go back just a little bit. Something that Kanique used to say, that if Hollywood won't hire you, then hire yourself. So create your own content.
Mm-hmm.
Since 1992, I've been teaching personal economics, and we have an organization, Paracon, Perecon, stands for Personal Economics. And the Paracon Institute joined with Three Generational Wealth, which is back East Coast there. Let me give a shout out to East Coast.
All right.
And we teach students, take that. So we teach students every Tuesday night at 9:00 your time.
Okay.
We teach students a 90-day course.
Mm-hmm.
It starts again in January. It starts with financial literacy, but it starts with the person. We use an acronym called TRAPS: talents, resources, abilities, and passions that lead you to becoming the solution to a need or the salvation of a soul. And that soul could be a nation, like in Mandela's case, or in Martin Luther King's case, or in Gandhi's case. So by you understanding who you are and what your unique set of traps are and your unique purpose, then everything else starts to make sense in life.
Oh, wow.
So having said that, we also teach budgeting. Then we go into teaching financial calculations, understanding money, understanding the economy, because you can have the greatest idea. You could be the greatest real estate investor on the planet, but if you're fighting against the ocean of the economy and you're on the wrong end of that curve, you can be wiped out. I've seen it. You've seen it, Marvin. We've all seen it. Yes. So we teach not just the financial literacy, but we also teach economic literacy. Oh, wow. And there's a saying that we teach: paper gets you paper. Right. You said it earlier in the presentation. If your paper is not straight, if your business model is not straight, if your P&L, profit and loss, is not straight, we can't really help you. Now, I'm also a banker, and I work with a private African-American owned bank. Oh, man. And yes. And we are.
Just pause right there. Just cut it now.
And sing.
Okay. And so we are a merchant bank, which means we're the bankers to the banks.
There you go.
We don't give loans to individuals. We give credit enhancement and capital infusion to businesses. So if you have an idea, as Marvin was saying, if you have an idea and you can put that on paper, you can articulate it, you can plan out your 3-year and your 5-year pro forma. Mm-hmm. Even if the bank doesn't believe in you, our standard is, if it makes sense, we can come to your banker and say, we believe in you. And so we're going to put up the capital for your bank to fund that project, as long as it makes sense. But your paper has to be in order. Your credit has to be in order. Your corporation has to be in good standing. Your legal structure, your board has to be there. And all this can be taught. Paper, as long as your paper is clean, paper gets you paper. The other thing is, we took that to heart, and I began to write a series called Lords of LA, starring the best actors I know on the planet.
He's being biased.
I am being biased, but I'm telling the truth, though. Okay, the bias with truth. And so the premise of that is that at some point, the United States of America will go broke. Mm-hmm. And when that happens, every time we have a major depression or recession, the people who are at the bottom get hurt. Yeah. So what are we facing right now? We're facing 14 million evictions. Guess what? Most of these are Black and brown people. Yep. We're facing 1 out of 6 households being hungry for Christmas. Yep. Guess what? Most of them are Black and brown. Those are just the facts. Yeah, and we're facing COVID at an unprecedented rate, most of them being Black and brown. Right. So what do? We have to change our mindset as a group of people. And we have to stand up and say, you know what? We didn't build this system, but we're going to master this system. Once you understand the rules, to your point earlier, Marvin, you understand the laws, then you begin to understand, well, wait a minute. these laws I can bend. I can't break them, but I can bend them. But I can also create new laws. I can create new currencies. I can create new opportunities. And when you do that, use your creative self to begin to create, then you're like the creator in heaven. So use that creative power that you have, put it to paper. If you don't know how to do it, put together your master team, including Marvin and the people that he knows, put them together and begin to live your purpose.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. I'm about to make sure I put an extra seat at my table. Yeah, we got to catch up. Yeah, man, this is so powerful, though. It's so powerful. I would just no. I'm gonna say it the way it needs to be said. For God to put two people together that's purposeful, driven like this, because guys, when you have the skill sets and the knowledge of how to build it, and then know how to stand on it with integrity and can be a reflection or just an example to people. And everybody has to make money, of course, and those type of things, but it's getting bigger than money now.
Yes.
And for that, I deal with a lot of celebrity, clients and things, and I got young brothers, man. They get that first million or whatever from the NFL or the Panthers, and these guys are actually, I've seen guys go to the car lot with $70,000-$80,000 in a bag to go buy a car. I'm like, dude, what do you mean? What? Yeah, man, but I went ahead and go cop the car, man. I got this, man, and I'm about to go to the I said, dude, I understand you going to practice, but bro, you need to understand what's going on here on the bigger picture, man. I said, because I'm gonna tell you something. I don't care what insurance you got in place. When you're not favorable to those coaches and that ownership, and something happens to you, it's going to be a whole different situation, man. And let me stop here. But I've seen it, so it's not about what you have. It's about how you know how to use it, maximize it. And like my brother Maxwell said, it has to be built as a business. And guys, I'm telling you, it's like with this whole COVID, I was working, assisting with the SBA. I was assisting with a lot of different things. A lot of people made a lot of different money. It was definitely a big advantage for me, but I didn't sit back and become a victim. I approached it with saying, okay, what do I know? How can I help? And when you wake up again, and I say this, guys, if you can serve, say, how many people can I serve, opposed to how much money I can serve instead of making money, you'll be more valuable out there because people can see straight through BS, guys. They see it because we done been through enough. It doesn't work that way anymore. You understand? Yes. So the relationships and your integrity, you'll never run out of resources and monies and different opportunities because you're standing on what's something that's real, guys. This paper stuff, it's cool, but it's getting to really be incredible and taking about our ownership from a DNA's perspective. And then it can get on how you're going to look as a business, guys. And I love this conversation because they put so many different components together to make it work, right? And so with that being said, guys, I had just took a trip. I just got back from the border of Mexico, right? And, I went into a city. I had relationships there. I was doing corporate ticketing down there in Brownsville and all down on the, in that area of San Antonio and all that area. But when I went down there this time with the financial information, sat down, with someone that was, I mean, the guy had I don't know, maybe it was maybe 12, 13 banks in the area that he pretty much was, the major guy in that bank. He had venues, a mall, all kinds of stuff. At the end of the day, guys, I went down there to solve a problem. I didn't go down there saying I knew everything, but we took time, we ate dinner, and we saw how can we help one another. Now, this guy was Mexican, 100%. Not that I'm race conscious now, but we're coming from two different cultures to come together to solve a problem. Mm-hmm. And he opened the door and says, "Hey, Marv, right now, I have a database of probably about 500,000 people coming through my banks, man. Let's talk." And I'm saying to myself, hey, at the end of the day, guys, listening to my guest today, I want you guys to tell us, what does it take out here to see it from a bigger scale? Their environment, the people that we're talking to, the music we're listening to. I mean, the things that's in our culture. I mean, believe me, I'm a hip hop head. I love hip hop. Don't get it twisted. I love everything about our culture, but everything is not good, and a lot of things are leading to destruction. But at the end of the day, what keeps people propelled to take it to the next level? And you guys been married and have a very successful business relationship, marriage. What does it take in our culture to get to this next level? Is it just a mindset, or what is it?
So the word decision is a military term. Incision is to cut into something. All right. Like when you were in the lab in high school and they said, yeah, cut into that. Decision means to cut away.
Wow.
And what that means is you've got to decide what is good in your life and what is bad in your life.
Right.
Cut away those things that are bad in your life and focus on the vision. Everybody has a dream. Everyone has a vision, something that they aspire to. And so whatever that vision is that you aspire to, that thing that you admire the most, whatever you're passionate about, that thing that, if you were a rich man or woman, you would do it 24/7 and you wouldn't care about the money. That's called passion. Okay.
Passion.
Yeah, that's called passion. So that's why we teach that. The first thing we teach before we get into budgeting and money and finance and investing, we start talking about what is it that you're here to do. So we invite people to take a free course. Go to mytraps.org, mytraps.org. Take a free course about you. Your unique social DNA is what we call it. You got a physical DNA. Makes you look like you look. You can't help that. But your social DNA, this is everything you've learned since you were a little girl. Every experience that you went through, like my wife went through. I was blinded when I was a teenager. Accident. It was a sports accident. I was temporarily blinded. But all of these things that happen to you that are so-called negative can empower you to be the solution to someone else's need. And you hit it right on the head, Marvin, when you said, listen, you are here to solve a problem. Find out what you're good at, what problem you can help solve, and that is the road to your success.
Oh man, man! I don't know if I should have had y'all on here yesterday or today. I tell you, and I'm going to say this, guys, not just because y'all, on the podcast right here. This is probably the most empowering podcast I've had thus far. First, I have to put that out as to be a couple like-minded people, and what you're conveying and what you're standing for. I just have to still give you guys kudos for that. Really, this is big.
Yes, absolutely. I appreciate that greatly. One of the things, you just piggybacking off of that, I could have took not being able to walk. What I do, Marvin, just so you know, I look for roles and I ask God for roles that allows me to use what I went through to show it, so that it's not fake, it's not phony, it's not pretentious. It's just comes from me. And I did not know that my husband would write a role that would just hit me to the core. Madam Clyde of Lords of LA is educated, wise. She's Kamala Harris. I think that's She does not play, So and all of this is built on finances. Lords of LA sounds like it's from the streets. It sounds like it's a slang, but it's all built about and around economics. And so just the fact of us taking all of the things that we went through and the knowledge that we have, and we're saying, hey, I'm still chasing Hollywood, and and my husband sees I'm extremely passionate about it. He said, here, honey, just read this. Just read this. I end up reading this script and was just blown away that, first of all, he wrote it. Right. and that, like, wow, God, okay, is it my husband that's going to put me on the map? You know,
it's called teamwork. Red Fields is teamwork. Her name is Redette, so that's the red part. Fields, my last name, Red Fields. That's our media company. But you know what? We didn't always start out like this. We it was rough. Right. We were broke. We had money. We had properties paid for, cars paid
lots
for.
Lots of money.
Anything that you could think of, we went broke. Okay.
And we went lots of broke.
When I say broke, I'm broke. Okay. We was living in hotels because we lost our house, we lost our cars, we lost all that because we did not apply what I already knew was the truth. So you've got to find the truth in you. You've got to apply the truth. And that means cut through all the bull.
Yeah, right.
Cut through all the games. Don't expect anyone to give you anything.
Right.
Find out the truth of who you are, what you are, why you are, and then go to work. We use this term, PIE. It's persistent, intelligent effort. That means that you're going to persist in what you know is right and true. It is going to be intelligent, meaning that if it doesn't work one way, you're going to work it another way. And effort, get up every day and work the truth. And if you do that, you will get where you need to be.
That is awesome right there, man. And, you know, I'm pushing this whole 2021. And of course, you know, Max, we have so much more conversation that we have to talk about. But I'm really felt that Spirit God has me pushing in this towards our younger generation and the people coming up because things are changing all over, and not having this type of information. What my brother Maxim is saying and putting out here to you guys, y'all. I mean, listen. This stuff literally saved my life, guys. Like I said on mine, been in the military, went to Desert Storm, made 2 trips, went in at 17. I had to get my mom and dad to sign for it. I had to find my dad because he was in the streets. So I was underage, so I had to get them to sign. So I was a little bit of trying to make an escape from dysfunctionality, went into more things that was a little bit troublesome because the government gives you the government. And, so with that, I had to come out here and really figure this thing out. But what I had to learn is you have to own your stuff. Your journey is your journey. Yeah, people going to pat you on the back. Oh, that's a nice story. But I'm going to tell you something. You guys got to wake up and understand, move your feet towards, like the brother said, make a decision to either it's going to be this or it's going to be that. Right. And so the thing is I'm pushing entrepreneurship. I know that doesn't fit well with everybody, but at the end of the day, if you're in your passion and you're living in your purpose, you have my platform, you have Maxim platform. We're going to put that back up there, and there are people that will show up, guys, if you live in your purpose. I'm telling you, people, places, and things will show up for your better good, and you'll be like, whoa, and don't move based on how much money you move without the money. Move like you already have the money. Then that's when the money shows up. It's a frequency, guys. You'll be patting your pockets, man. Listen, when I didn't have any money, I was back home living in mom's couch for the second time, right? In my late 30s. And I'm not saying this in an egoic way, but then in the next 2 to 3 years, I went out and just stayed focused, started reading my books, moved up to Lake Norman, living on the lake, all this other kinds of crazy stuff. Oh, Marvin, how did you do that? I'm like, well, dude, I just stopped doing what me and you used to do.
That is so funny. That was that incision. It was the incision.
Yeah, absolutely. Turn away, baby. Hey, nothing but love for you, but I got to go. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I definitely want to I want to get some more of before we close this thing out, guys. And like I said, I definitely want you guys back on the Meta Marvin show, definitely Maxim and Rhonda, because I it's just so many juices flowing, and I want to put this information out because one, turnkey, this is what I'm doing already. And I already knew what the value was, but then it went up to a whole nother level. So based on moving into if people wanted to get into the entertainment industry, Rhonda, all right, don't they need a business hat, meaning a business hat, what your husband have introduced you to? Everybody doesn't have that. Okay,
Right.
but of course he's on the show, he's doing classes and things now, but being a creative person, I just want to act and I'm a good actor. What would you tell musicians, people that's into film, trying to get into Hollywood or trying to get at Tyler Perry? I don't know. What do they need to understand about this industry?
Don't wait, create.
Oh, wow.
You cannot wait. I mean, I again, Marvin, I appreciate everything that you said, but honestly, I am not going to see the light at the end of the tunnel based off of waiting on someone to provide it for me. I'm first of all, I'm illuminating my own path and my own purpose. Like you said, it's
I gotta write that down.
yeah. So I honestly am in a waiting season. See,
Wow.
don't allow me being on this show and as far as the acting side of it to make you feel like, oh my goodness, she's all that, she's doing all. There's a lot of dreams and passions and things that I haven't even seen yet. Sure. And God has told me will be. And because he said it, vision, yeah. I know he'll provide the provision for it. So I have nothing but to do but wait. Now, in your waiting season, you still have to create. Right. And part of that creation is maybe you just getting up and brushing your teeth that day.
Wow.
It's probably you just getting up and looking at yourself and saying, I am enough. Wow. It has nothing to do with the cameras. It's all smoke and mirrors. And honestly, my husband he's laid out this platform that I'm like, it was you all along. Wait a minute, God, my blessing has been with me all this time. I'm trying to grow grass on the other side when I'm the one supposed to be watering my own. Like, I don't understand. And so in this waiting season, God has provided this access and this favor, abundant favor to this man right here because of the seeds that he has planted, that now the manifestation is happening. And that monetizing, as you were saying earlier, is exactly what's going to happen in paper. Now, I'm not saying, hey, I'm the lead of the Lords of LA and it's all about me. My greatest passion is calling on those ones who are just like me, who's looking for that opportunity, who's saying, yes, I do have a name. Yes, acting does matter. There is a weight to that still.
If you're passionate about it.
If you're passionate about it. If that's what, everybody can't just get up and say, I want to be an actor.
My wife works. Listen, she is volunteered as an assistant AD on many sets. She's volunteered. She's served food to actors on different sets. She's rolled up her sleeves, and sometimes she sucks me in too. Hey, can you help to build a set?
Right.
Okay, whatever. But she works, which means that if you're really serious about it, and if you know for sure that is the path for your life, then get in there and lean in, lean forward, offer yourself to help, be a solution to a problem. Right. And no, it's not glamorous. No, it's not the limelight. But once people get to know your integrity, they see that you're integral. What is integrity? Integrity means that you can stand against the storms, that you can take the pressure and it's not going to change you. That's integrity. Wow. So once we see that you are integral, and that you're serious about what you're going to do, you're going to get your break.
And they'll call you,
Yeah.
and you can learn on these sets, and you can learn, like he's saying, also get some master scripts and just practice, get in these classes, get on these sets, learn the language, learn the simple things about it. And if it's not grueling, one of the things that you said, then you're not going to ever be unhappy with it, even if you're not getting paid the amount that you want. It's something I love, eat, breathe. There's nothing I want to do more.
That's it. I mean, passion, guys, I'm telling you, and that could be the cornerstone of what this whole podcast was about today, just desire, and like I said, guys, this working hard, and being able to see people just go out here and do what they got to do. It's going to break. It's going to open up for you guys. But that thing inside of you, that thing that you're thinking about, you're not talking to people about, and maybe you are, but it's going to show up just as long as you just stay firm in that, guys. And again, the business side of it is what wasn't taught to us, and that's why we're trying to open up this door. Like Malcolm's saying, it's help that's here, and it's actually help the people that understand your story, and that's not going to judge you. We're not going to be, we're not going to put you down, but we are going to look at, do you really want it? You see, because at where I'm at, it's, I always tell people, as you'll understand it. My grandmother said, by and by, like every day, my time, don't, let's not waste each other's time.
Yes.
Okay. Because your time is just, you might not value it yet, but I do. And once you do, that's when you're going to blow up. That's when you're going to be more fruitful. You're going to be duplicatable. You're going to be leading people, and you're going to be open a lot of doors, not only for yourself, your kids, or whoever around that, that can come in your environment, guys. Because I'm going to tell you something. You have managers, you have technicians, but at the end of the day, job is just over broke. Okay. Remember that, because you can't never prevail to what you was here in purpose for if you're working into someone else's idea. Now, don't get it twisted. I've been second. I've worked for other people. But what I'm saying is that you should know, I want to do this, but I would do it this way. There's nothing wrong with that. That happens all the time. You're a unique person. So that you being authentic and being real with yourself, that's when things are going to show up, and you're going to be able to get that low-hanging fruit, guys. So funding credit is here. This podcast, I just want to get some closing statements from Maxim, Rhonda. I really enjoyed you guys, man. I'm sending, unconditional love. I love what you're doing, man. And
I want to give a shout out to Frank Hines. Frank Hines is the principal behind 3 Generational Wealth. He took a group of young people on the East Coast and he put them under his arms. Now, Frank Hines is a graduate from Harvard with a degree in economics, and he is my partner in crime in bringing these young people under tutelage. Listen, you cannot be the best unless you're learning from the best.
Wow.
So don't think that LeBron James or even Kobe or any great player got to where they were without coaching, without mentorship, without someone pushing them when they were young. So listen, if you don't have someone pushing you to the edge and making you sharper, making you better, you're probably not at 100%.
There you go.
Get in with people like Marvin, get in with people like Frank, and let us push you. It's okay. We're not going to push you over the cliff, but we're going to push you to the edge, and we're going to make you stronger. Okay?
Right.
We got your back, but you got to get mentorship. You got to get in a program of learning. And if you can't take it from us, go online, get under Udemy, get under YouTube, and learn what you have to learn. Learn how to budget money, invest money, trade money, create paper that makes paper. Learn how to do these things. And I'm constantly learning. I came in the other day with a bag full of books. And I put them down and I said, babe, we got to read all these books. And she looked at them, and then the next day I come in, she says, I looked at all those books that you brought. And I said, okay. And every night we made a commitment that we're going to read together.
Oh man.
And we're going to pray together about what we're reading, so that we continue to grow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Never stop learning, never stop growing.
We're going into a season that we've been asking God for, and it is overwhelming. Because that's the kind of God we serve, you know.
That's right. And we all know he will show up, won't he?
Yes,
he'll show up.
Yes, he will.
Yeah, he'll show up.
And he will show out.
Yes.
And show out. That's right.
Yes, he will. That's why we have to educate ourselves.
Get ready. Get ready.
Yes. Well, guys, I'll tell you, man, this was one of the, probably, I will say, the best show that I've had. You guys are fantastic. But we're not gonna let this outside stuff get us sidetracked. Everybody out there definitely, be health conscious, understand that, you definitely want to, and that's just where it's supposed to be anyway, eating better, thinking better, the way we live in our lives, guys. But this stuff, we're here to be creative, guys. We're co-creators from the creator. So when you understand your image and likeness and those things, guys, you'll see that imagination is what it is.
Yeah.
You can, everything around us was created by somebody, right? So, and I talk to guys that's been locked up for 10 or 15 years. I said, guys, I understand that you was in the hole, and they used to hit me because I'm like, God, these guys are doing 15, 20 hours in this place, man. It's like, off of something that he really didn't do. But I said, man, all you have is your imagination, brother. I don't care what they give you, man. Learn it, read it, but just think about it from an esoteric standpoint, man. Everything that you see, them bars, that lampshade, everything, there are plenty of millionaires and this opulence all around you. You have to open up your mind to see what is it going to be for you. You know what I'm saying? Because it came from them. They're not here physically, but they all around you, And I had to give them something just for them to hold on to get them through, So, we can put ourselves, guys, in self-made prisons, and we could be free right here walking the streets every day. But it's our mind. It's our mind. And I just wanted to make sure I include that, guys. Y'all have the best representation examples of what y'all could actually hear from here on the show. Thank you guys so much for coming and showing on the show. And, of course, I'm definitely going to be ringing you. I want to hear more. And I just, God bless you guys on all endeavors, and just bless you from the alpha to the mega. Right?
That's right.
Going back
the beginning to the end, right on back to you. For the first shall be last, and last shall be first.
Hey, and one
hey.
We're grateful to be here. We're grateful for the platform. Marvin, thank you guys so much for doing this. We just want to encourage everyone. It does not matter what your past was.
Right.
The past is only to teach you what you needed to learn for today. It's just a lesson. As long as you have life in your body, as long as you have a clear mind, as long as you have a vision, then you have an amazing future. The key is identify that, stay focused on that future, and do everything in your ability to build that future. Don't be afraid to ask for help. The one that does not ask for help is the one that will fail. Everybody needs help. Ask for help. In fact, use persistent, intelligent effort. Persist in asking. If it doesn't work one way, keep asking another way until you get what you want. But you will get it. And again, don't look at your past. People who drive looking in the rearview mirror are going to have a wreck. Look at the future. Look at the road ahead of you, and don't stop. God bless you.
Hey guys, he just said the whole thing. That's it. He gave you the key, he gave you the door, he gave you the butler to open up the doors. That's it, guys. I can't say any more. But guys, listen, this was a phenomenal show. And again, I thank you for everything that you're putting out here. I'm definitely looking for all this to come about. Anywhere I could help you guys, definitely we'll talk about that. East Coast, West Coast, let's make it a union. Let's make it impactful. There's so many things here on the East Coast that, we're into more of a society that we're just not being open enough to one another, and I feel that I want to be a part of being able to change that mindset. And guys, I'd love to want to be able to join you any way I can fit on your journey. And I know that I have a few ideas for you. So that's what the show is about. It's about oneness. It's about creativity. And you got to understand, and this is my closing statement. What you're seeking is seeking you. Where are you? Peace.